this one, because this one is still considered as a basic training, so I won't be covering the multi-dimensional part, but that one is more on how you can, actually the one is more on how you can drag, how you want to arrange your report, right? You just drag the column, like here, project, then you inquiry your result out. So it should be considered should be quite flexible report for anything that you see is a multi-dimension. It's supposed to be flexible for you to rearrange the columns how you want it. And the best way is you're able to export it to Excel, Excel and for analysts for reference. Okay, so now I want to continue the train on stock item. Okay, just now I've been covering the account part. All right, so now we want to jump to the stock part, which is the stock item maintenance. Earlier on, we see some of the features inside the account, the item maintenance. So under the stock item, we create the item, okay, by providing the item code and description and the UOM. So these are three things that is important. And one more, which is also important beside is a grouping purpose or categorizing purpose. It also is a link between the stock and the account. Okay, that is the item group. All right, item group, which we can define different category, or even if we only got one category of item, we still need at least one item group, so that when we create the item, right, we can post to the account. Okay, so first we need the item code for the item. Item code, let's say, auto adjust, auto running. Okay, then this one unit, and here you see the selling price. Okay, the amount I put in, let's say 98, is the selling price. And here standard cost, maybe it's the cost of the item. Okay, purchasing cost, and then that's all I need. All the others we will go slowly one by one. So basically now we create a simple stock item. Okay, save. So this stock item we created, the purpose is for we can create, how to say, applies in the sales and purchase document. Okay, so if I want to create a service item, what do I do? Okay, I go back to the stock item. I create a new item, which is a service item. Let's say the one is service charge. Okay, so here service charge, and maybe same item group, service charge. There's one checkbox that I need to uncheck for any non-physical stock item, like this service charge. Then I uncheck the stock control. So for the UOM, service charge unit, unit of measurement, right? Usually we put by hour, right? So maybe this one I put hour. Not normal per hour. Let's say we charge $20 or something like that. So usually we don't know the cost, so we don't have to put in the cost. So I'll save. Okay. Now I will go back to sales. Let's say invoice. Okay. And if I select the customer, then I put in the item code. Okay, let's say I put this item, the sales price is 98. If I put in another item, service charge, okay, the sales price is 80 for per hour. Okay. Now, if I want to, wait, let me see. Okay, if I want to make sure, I mean, how do I know my account number is correct for these two items? Right, so I can actually drag out the column by right click. This part is we call it header, right? So we just right click the header and then column chooser. And then from here, we can drag out the account number. So you see, this account number is assigned according to the item group. I mean, just now, how does it know it's 500? It's not an other account number. Instead, it's a 500. It's because of the setting inside the stock group maintenance. Stock group maintenance, because we say it's a 500 for the sales code. And then this invoice, let's say after I done already, so I save. Okay, I save this invoice. At this time, right, you notice the invoice number is something like a indicate saying that it's a new invoice. Okay, so we don't know what's the invoice number yet. Okay, but once we save, right? Okay, after we save, we go back to invoice. This is the newly created invoice, sales invoice. Is invoice number 9, right? So if I create the next invoice again, it says it's a new invoice number, but we don't know what's the invoice number. The possible invoice number, it does show on top at the title bar. So at this title bar, you see the possible number is 10, but it doesn't mean it's definitely going to get 10. You know why? If I'm the only one that keying invoice, then definitely I will get 10. But today, if let's say there are 2 people entering from network, you know, there are more than 2 people. You see, when I open the new window and another colleague of mine also open another new window, both also possible invoice number 10, right? Then now we see who save first. Who save first will get number 10. The next person who save will get another number. Okay, now we do okay, same customer name, maybe same item as well, service. Okay, here the 2020. Okay, now I save this one first. So this customer, this person who save will get 10. Another person, you see, even though this one, the next possible number is 10, but once I save, right, guess what? It's not 10, it's 11. Huh? So that's why it depends on the timing of the saving to decide your actual document number. Okay, another thing is the document number format. Just earlier we did mention about the invoice number, right? You can have different format. Okay, you can have different format. So this is the default format. But if I want to create another format, how do I do that? I go to general maintenance, document numbering format maintenance. All right, here you look for the document under the category. Okay, so here we look for invoice. So this is one of the format. I'm not going to change the default format. Okay, I'm not going to change. I'm going to create a new one. Okay, new running number format. Let's say this one is my invoice format. Okay, my invoice format. And this format, I'm going to have date inside my invoice number. Means I want to show the month, the day, and so on. So at the bottom here, you can actually refer to this one, right? So this one actually give you the idea how the format works. Let's say I want to show the year 22. 22, you see, this is a sample, is straight away reflect your format. Then I want the month, okay, month 08. And then maybe after this, I want the slash with the running number. So running number, you always put the bracket, some sort of bracket. And then in between the bracket, depends how many digits we want. Then we put the digits. Huh? So if I want to have 4 digits, I put four zeros. Then here, but this don't put something like, I've seen people put something like, oh, my next number is 21, so I put 21 here. Don't do that. This one doesn't mean next number. The next number, where do I put? The next number, if it's 21, I should put here 21. Okay. And then you can have zero for no control. I don't know, this one I'm not sure why why we need to control the maximum number. Even though I got 4 digits, we know the 4 digits usually the maximum number should be 9999. What happened after 19999? So I guess after 99, maybe you warn us your number has run out or something like that. Maybe before reach 199, maybe reach 8,000. You want the system warn you already, hey, you're running out of number already, something like that. So you can prepare to increase or change your format, things like that. Another features for this document numbering format is we can have different set of running number, different set of running number for different year month. For instance, let's say now it's 2022. 2022, let's say now it's August. August here, I want to start from 21. So once I enable each month, right, it won't take the running number from here. It takes the running number from here. Okay. So if let's say 2023, next year 2023, I will start from every month. I will start from 1 again. So this is a set of every year, every month has its own running number. Okay, so this one is called monthly set running number. So if I'm not going to use this, I can uncheck. There are people using this running number, monthly running number. So if customer asks, I want to have different set of running number every month, that means you gotta find out here. Okay, so I created the new running number format here. Okay, so if I go create invoice, here now you notice I can choose the invoice number format. Okay. So that's one way of doing it. All right, I can choose the different invoice number format. Okay, what if today customers say I want a certain user can have different type of running number set. Now I got 2, right? But maybe some user I want them to use this running number. I don't want the user. Usually is let's assume this user is stationed at different outlet. When they station at different outlet, then you can set this user at this outlet is using what number. Okay, so this is we can set by going to I think numbering format again. Okay, just now the invoice, right? Okay, here you see there's a button manage. Okay, you click the manage here. you can assign document number format to user. So let's say, okay, let's say Tom. Tom, I want this user, if he logs in his account and if he issue or create the invoice, I want him to use this running format. Oh. So that's how you set. So once you set already, you just save it. So next time if Tom log in, okay, I'll show you Tom log in. I'll create log into another session using Tom's account. Okay. Okay, so here you see the name is Tom. And if I create a new invoice, you see the one thing you notice, if I specify that Tom is going to use the invoice number, running number, Tom won't be able to change. So once I select this customer, then you notice the running number here, the next possible number is using my new invoice format, my invoice format, right? My invoice format here. So if Tom create and save, okay, the top here you see the number. So if I save, oh, back order. Okay, this is a back order control, which there's no item left. So I override with admin. Okay, so done. So here you see, no, the number. So wait, if I see this number, I know, oh, this is created by which outlet or which person. Okay. So this is one example. Okay, basically, if we talk about stock sales purchase, right? That's how the relation. Just now, what I show you is the relation between the stock item from sales invoice to AI invoice. Remember, in earlier on in the morning, I mentioned about sales invoice, and also earlier on we saw quite a lot of AI invoice. I mentioned something about posting, right? Did I mention posting? No, not this word all, but something about what you call the flow. Oh, yeah, I mentioned something about the flow. The flow of the transaction. You always from the from the right side flows to the left side. It doesn't transaction that enter inside AR, it won't shows in sales. But sales invoice, whatever I enter, you see here the sales invoice just now. I created 4 transactions. I just created these 4 transactions in the sales invoice. It will appear inside the AI invoice. Now you see that 9, 10, 11, and this one is my invoice format. Oh, it will show here. But earlier on, all those AI invoice that I created directly inside AI invoice, it won't comes in here. All right, it won't go back to sales invoice. Why? Very simple, because AI invoice, there's no stock item. It has only the account. But here you have stock item. So if you do not need the stock item, basically you can just key in the AI invoice. You know, I do a lot of integration. Integration always customer, or the programmer, the developer always asks, which one should I integrate with, AI invoice or sales invoice? Then usually the easiest, clearer for the programmer to understand which one to use is, do you need to update stock? You know what I mean? So if today customer asks you, same thing, customer may ask you, hey, why you got 2 invoice? Which one should they use? They should key in the AI invoice or key in the sales invoice? The one question is, if they have both, right? You say, hey, do you need to update stock? If you need to update stock, definitely it's sales invoice. If you don't need to update stock, there's headache. Sometimes customer may also want to use sales invoice even they don't have stock. Yeah. I don't know you have encountered or not, but there are cases. Customer is not using stock, but they still want to use the sales invoice. You know why? Because AI invoice cannot print. You see? You can print listing, but there's no document to print. But sales invoice, you can print the document. So today you say, if customer wants to print the document invoice, all right, they want to involve stock, that definitely we have to use the sales invoice. Okay, but today if customer say, I'm not using stock, I want to print, then I have to use sales invoice. Then how do I key in if I don't have stock item? We can key in. We can key in a sales invoice without item code, but cannot without account number. You get me? If you key invoice without account number, means you're not doing account at all. All right. So you see, you can drag this out, you can take this out, you can just put account number, and you can take out quantity, you can take out quantity need or not, doesn't matter. That one is a setting. So once you put it, you must put description. That's the important part. Description is like sales, and then you can put in the amount. Where's you can just put in the subtotal. Where is the subtotal? Okay, subtotal you can put in here. Oh, but you see there's a problem. Here you cannot key in the total here. What happened? You see, if you want to do this like AI invoice, we can enter the total, right? But here we cannot enter the total. There's the lock inside the column. So how do I enable this column lock? So this column lock, right? We have to go back to tools option. Tools options here. Yes, column lock. You go invoicing. Very slowly, we'll learn more and more things inside the tools option. Invoicing, customized invoicing. Okay. And then here you find the edit column lock. So edit column lock, right? You look for the document type first. The document is invoice. And then under invoice, you'll find the, here the column, you'll find the total. Okay. The total, the column name called total. Okay. Where is it? Got to scroll. Oh yeah, got to scroll to until you see the actually should be subtotal. Okay, so this is a subtotal, and you see you got normal detail, partial detail. What is this? Okay, never mind. We just look at the normal detail first. There are so many different kind of detail, right? We just look at normal detail first. Okay, basically this all is something to do with the other four. All is something to do with transfer. Okay, transfer. Usually transfer we don't need to change the value. We can transfer means this invoice we transfer from DO or transfer from sales invoice. Let's say we focus on the normal detail first. Okay, normal detail means we add the item inside the invoice, not by transfer. So subtotal here, we untick. Tick means lock because this, you look at the name, this one is edit column lock. So untick is unlock it. Sometimes users didn't read carefully. They thought tick is to allow. Then they go and tick everything, then everything lock up. So you get careful. This it means if I tick means to lock. Okay. All right, so once I'm done, then I save it. Okay, save it. Then if I go back to sales invoice, not refresh yet, right? Okay, I'm going to start the invoice again. Okay, add new column. Now account number is out. Is sales. So I can key amount now. So let's say the amount is 1,000. So if there's any GST, so you can use it like AI invoice as well here. You can do that also. No? So there's no item, there's no quantity involved. Okay, now see whether I can save any error. Save. Oh, yeah, I need the data. Huh? I cannot ignore the customer. Okay, but it will refresh my, okay. Okay, then I save. No, you can save without stock item as well. You can save inside the sales invoice. And this value will go to this transaction, sorry, it will go to AI invoice here. Oh, so it's I12, right? I12 is, how come it doesn't appear here? Oh, here, no, appear. So this transaction we can enter inside the sales invoice. Okay, talk about transfer. Just now we saw the transfer. What is transfer? Okay, if today you do sales, right, just to issue invoice, right? You can do that as well. Okay, because invoice will update the account. But sometimes if we involve something about, let's say, customer order, and we need to order from our supplier, and then we need to keep track of quotes that we quote to our customer, and so on, right? So business becomes a bit more interesting. You won't be like just issue invoice, everything invoice. So today you have more control or manage your transaction by doing transaction like this one are not really transaction, it's not account transaction, it's more like a quotation. So quotation basically it doesn't update the account. So if I create a quotation, it's just a something that I send to my customer to price view, okay, to view the price. If agree, then they will send order in, right? So this one I just save and then just send out. There's no account involved. Why the quotation is important is we know we have quoted this customer with that price. So usually quotation you come in with columns like validity or when will expire, things like that, right? Or validity here. Or you don't see in some of others transaction. We don't say invoice, your money validity. Now I send you this invoice, the validity is how long? We won't say that one. We say your outstanding overdue is when, right? That's the invoice. So after we issue quotation, if let's say customer came back and say, okay, we agree on the price and then they want to order. So we go to order. Then do we need to rekeying and go and look for the hard copy, print out and see, oh, what are the things that customer order? If one or two, maybe I don't mind enter, but if there are more than 100 items, right? The easiest way is to transfer. All right, transfer. So how do I do transfer in sales order here? You see the button at home here. You see there's a transfer from quotation. And then you got, you transfer from quotation. Then when you click on it, right, there are two modes of transfer. If it is a full transfer, means the whole quotation document transfer, we call it full document transfer. But often we don't get confirmation of all transfer, right? Sometimes you only got, you quote out 100 items or 10 items, 10 items. Maybe customer agree on 9 items, right? That's very good already, right? Customer agree on 9 items. In that case, we just want to transfer partially, not the full document transfer. That's why we got another transfer mode. It's called partial item transfer. So these are two different things. One is full, we transfer everything over A to A copy. Another one is partial. We can select from different from the same document which are the item I want to transfer. Not only that, the partial transfer include if there are 10 quantity, I only want to transfer 5 quantity, that's okay also. Okay. So let's say I transfer one of the item over. Okay, then that's it. That's it. Or maybe sometimes customers say, oh, I'll transfer over already. Can I add another item? Or can you add another item? Can verbally we agree on the item price. Okay, so I just add another item here. That's fine also. Okay, you can add one more item here. Okay, so one item is transferred, another item is added during the order. Okay, so that's how you do the transfer. Okay, so basically up to now, quotation and sales order, does it involve stock and account? No, it doesn't involve stock and account. Okay, next you can see under sales, you find delivery order. Okay, so this delivery order, if I transfer from previous the sales order, okay, transfer from sales order. Okay, partial transfer, I find these two transactions. Let's say I transfer this one quantity over. Then if I save this transaction, this item, right, it will deduct from stock immediately. Okay, if I save this transaction. Okay, but this DO, it will update account. DO doesn't update account, but then it will update the stock. Okay, save. Then you get the back order. When you see this, then you know, oh, it's deducting the stock. Okay, then then if I after the DO, usually what you do, we go invoice. We go invoice, we issue invoice. That's when we create the invoice, and we can transfer from DO. Can I transfer from the SO again? No. Okay, once that document item has already transferred to DO, I cannot again transfer. Every transfer of the item or document can only done once, not more than twice. Oh. So because it's already transferred to DO for that particular item, so when I issue invoice, I have to go to DO. Okay, so this is the item. Then I save. Okay, then you may ask, can I skip DO? Can I go from sales order direct to invoice? Sales right? Can, right? You can do that. Yeah, you can do that. Why? Because invoice will update stock and update account. Or you post to account and you will update stock. Both. Then you say, hey, what happened if DO already reduced the stock? Then I transfer to invoice. Will the invoice reduce the stock again? No. If any transaction that you is transfer from DO, right, the invoice won't reduce the stock. But if you add a new item inside the invoice, that item, it will reduce the stock. Okay, for the approval, right, there's one is quotation approval. If not mistaken, I think sales order also added approval. If not mistaken, let me check. Because sometimes I'm confused with customization. I thought I've seen before, but actually it's not here. Okay, I show you the quotation one first. Okay, quotation I'm sure is here. Quotation, here you see how do we do the approval. The two combination, one is access right, auto approve. Another one is the user is not auto approve and cannot approve, then the user must wait for others to approve. So it involves access right. So first of all, we need to check the access right setting. How do we check the access right setting? Is by going to the sales quotation. Okay, sales quotation. Okay, we look for approved quotation. Okay, another one is called automatic approved quotation. There are two. Okay, approved quotation, it means that person can approve their quotation or not. Okay. Another one, automatic approved quotation, what this means? does this person who issued the quotation need to be approved or not? So today, let's say Tom can approve quotation, but cannot automatic approve quotation. He can approve. So when he do the quotation, right, the quotation is not approved, but you need to wait until someone approve. But Tom can approve, then he has to manual approve it, or it's not going to automatic. So you see, because so far, admin is the one who is included as an automatic approved quotation. So all quotation that are created, right, you see, it will be approved. You see, it's straight away approved. But now, if I remove that, access right. Okay, now I access, remove the automatic approve, but remains as the person who can approve. You see what happened? Okay, now I create a new quotation. Okay, then I save. Okay, this newly created quotation, you see something missing? It means the name to the person of to approve. So if this quotation is not approved, can I transfer to sales order? Okay, let's see, this quotation is 2, right? So if I go to sales order or DO or invoice, if I try to transfer it, I forgot the debtor is who? Company B, right? Okay, company B. So company B, if I transfer from quotation, you see, I cannot find the quotation here because it has not been approved. If I want to approve, how do I do that? I go back to the quotation, I view the quotation, and then you can find a button called approve, or just the first one, or approve. So you click, if we click the button approve, yes, that depends whether I got right to approve or not. Now, if I don't have the right to approve, you of course you reject. But if I get to the right to approve, then you ask whether you want yes, then you become approver. Okay, so now you see it becomes admin. Okay, so once I approve for it already, then if I go back to any document that I want to transfer from quotation, okay, transfer from quotation. Now you can see the approved quotation. So there are 2 in the access right. Approved quotation and automatic approved quotation. Okay. Let me see sales order got or not. I think can't remember sales order got or not. My impression is I got, but it seems like it doesn't know. I thought got one. Never mind. If I guess need the customize. I think it's the customized one. Yeah. Purchase request got purchase request got approval user. When you see the approval user means got purchase request has. Okay. All right. So I think for today we up to here. If you don't have any question, we will just up to here. And tomorrow we'll continue, but tomorrow will be until 4:30. Tomorrow, okay? Because today I see quite a lot of you how to say travel from far. So take a good rest, tomorrow will give me more time until 4:30. Actually today I also think that this topic though it's basic, but then here I also cover some quite tough topic already. This one not difficult, this one not difficult, this one not difficult. This four is a bit tough. Okay. But this is part of tomorrow because here also involve stock costing. So basically, also today I haven't covered is consignment, but I'll try to cover tomorrow early. Tomorrow early, we try to. I will start sharp at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, sharp 10. But because you all need to do the for classroom training, right? You all need to do the test kit, right? I don't know tomorrow you need to do again, so better come before 10, so we can start at 10 or sharp. If everyone here ready at 9:30, then we start at 9:30. Some of you came quite early, okay. So hope to see you all again tomorrow, and we'll continue tomorrow the consignment as well as mostly cover stock costing and report. Costing is the important part.